All right, y'all. Welcome back to another installation of the Super Mario World Toss-Up Tourney 2021. My name's Wade Carrick, and we're here today with a potentially very interesting matchup. Um, so just to let y'all know here in advance, we don't have the big wheel set up today, and I apologize about that. So the first race has been spun and decided. I'm gonna let y'all know what it is. But first, just to talk about potentially like how interesting this race could be. We're kind of at a crossroads here, right? And in common folklore, crossroads are a location that are between worlds, where the supernatural and the paranormal collect, and you can spawn a demon. Now, the crossroads here is obviously, is Bramz gonna win or is ISO Frieze gonna win? The categories they've decided each have 96 on the board. There is also a No Cape, No Star World on the board for them. There is a potential, if it rolls the right way, that we could see two 96 exits in a row, and then a No Cape, No Star World tiebreaker. There's a chance these two boys here could spawn a demon at these crossroads, is what I'm getting at. We could be stuck here for weeks. I don't even know how long those three categories take back to back. The category that they have first picked is 96 exit. So we're well on our way to potentially the longest race in human history, potentially. Not even humans, it could be the world, man. I don't know how long things like whales race. So we're gonna go ahead and get these guys going. Get some good luck in chat for them. All right, and they're off. Nice. Looks like we got ourselves a little disco Mario from Freeze there, or disco jump. All right, I'm back. I apologize about these technical difficulties we seem to be going through. We're going to be getting that fixed though, so don't worry. It's just world one of one of the longest categories possible, and this is only first race, so this is going to be best of three. So as you can tell from both of their screens, they are going right. It's about all the information I got for y'all right now. Now we have Bramz sitting outside of Iggy's castle. He's thinking about it. He's putting some thought into whether or not he wants this fight. So Frieze decides to stay in the hot tub. Right now, Bramz is in the lead by, I don't know, that looks like at least an inch. Oh no. Frieze might have forfeited. Maybe his internet went out. It's definitely not our. Oh my goodness! He was warping to donut planes, doing a time warp. It now says 4 minutes on there. It's almost like he was abducted after spawning a demon. I'm telling you, there's something paranormal going on here. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. All right, both of them now in Donut Secret 1 after opening yet another portal to another dimension. Ooh! Bramz lost his cape in dry room there and took a little time warp forward. Now he's small Mario. Oh man, that's not good. He's in an area where he can like pick up a lot of backup power-ups, and it's super early in the category, so you know, but it's definitely not what you want to have happen in this level. As you can see on the left side, someone has stolen Bramz's frames. I've already notified the authorities though, so we'll hopefully have the thief caught momentarily, and he'll be back at a full, nice, classy 15 frames a second. Oh, pretty scared me for a second. If you don't get up there the first time, like, it becomes kind of annoying to really get up there the second time. He is significantly ahead of Bramz if you look at the timers. Listen, guys, we're begging for frames here, so don't get weird on me about the sync, okay? You're gonna have to keep in mind for now until we get through these issues that Frieze's timer is a little behind. or not behind, ahead of Bramz. And so when he's doing stuff, he's doing it before Bramz is doing it. You know, back in my day, we had to make our own frames. So anything is good enough, you know. All right, now we got Frieze going through the ghost house. Look at how nice and close those timers are. I will take that for sure. Because that definitely shows a more accurate representation of who's in the lead here. Oh, and I'm so nice that we get to watch one of my favorite exits too. Very nice 368 coming from Frieze there. This boo fight's nice and easy, same every time. Bramz is looking very good going through it too. My heart wants to see some zips, but I know they're so far away. Ooh, ooh. What's up, Bramz? Clinging to that wall there. The next Spider-Man has been announced. Take that, Andrew Garfield. Is that still the Spider-Man? Very nice. Going under to get that exit. I've been seeing a lot of people going over to get that exit lately. It's pretty interesting because I've been so accustomed to seeing that under strat for so long. All right, now we're in Vanilla Secret 2, which we never get to see in categories. And honestly, they're just going to fly over it. It's kind of disrespectful if you ask me, but I don't make the rules here. Bam! Just like that, we're time warped once again through paranormal activities to Donut Plains 3. Frieze has melted all the ice. Man, his name has Frieze in it. Maybe he's behind it all. I'll let you guys know as the story develops. Oh, I'm going through a nice little time warp there to pick up his buddy Yoshi. Now, whenever you see a Yoshi in this category, something cool is going to happen down the road. Yoshi has some pretty interesting purposes in this category. All right, y'all make sure we do have a a poll up top. You have a few minutes left on, I think about 10 minutes left on, to predict who's going to win this match. Not just this race, this match. We're going best of 3. We're almost at about 50-50 here. Alright, looking like a good Morton fly from Bramz there's. ISO Frieze is leaving Morton's Castle, head on to Vanilla Dome. Alright. Now, if it holds up, pay attention to Frieze's screen here, as if you have a choice now. He's going to go up and duplicate one of these blocks into the lower half of that Yoshi coin and pick it on up. And then duplicate the invisible block that it created to make some wings. Some really nice wings. And get out of there with a 375 exit, 378 wings. He kept his Yoshi, though, which means we got some more cool stuff to see. So, speaking about some paranormal activities earlier, check this out. Frieze is going to go up to the ceiling and try to mount Yoshi right when he hits that corner and pull Yoshi into the wall. It's a pretty crazy trick. And he has to float across because he's technically in the air whenever he's inside that wall. You see, he got that primary clip at first, but then got kicked out once again. This is not good, and definitely great for Bramz, though. He has some time to catch up if he can get out of here with some nice wings. He's down in the 60s already. Frieze is into the secret chamber. Very nice. Bramz is scaring the hell out of me with his wings right now. There you go. 342. All right. Oh, it's such a cool entrance. I love that strat that Frieze did, getting in that pipe for the red switch where you bounce off that shell and go in and get that flight out of the pipe. It always just looks so flashy. Second part of the clip is based on a mod for frame cycle. Well, it's also dependent on Yoshi's subpixel, but assuming that you have the correct subpixel, then every 3 frames when you do the secondary clip, you get in. That 4th frame, if you try to get in that secondary clip, you are kicked out. So you have a 75% chance of getting it right, 25% chance of getting it wrong, and those chances only decrease in your favor if you have the wrong subpixel for Yoshi. You're going to see that trick again later in the Forest of Illusion. And it's like a way better place to actually describe it and visualize it. So that'll be coming up later in the run. We're also going to see way crazier tricks with Yoshi. Some stuff that get way into the realm of the SMW science that I can't explain. And that's what I'm really excited about. The big tricks, and see if these two are going to go for it. And Bramz, see if you can get that sticky fly. No. No matter though, it's easy to fly over those bats. ISO Frieze doing a little time warp in the ghost house. Getting through the door and out of there with the 358. Get to see another one of my favorite levels here coming up on Frieze's side of the screen. Vanilla Dome 3. If you do it right, it is one of the coolest, flashiest levels out there. It's so easy to do it wrong, though. It's going to be a lot of this, a lot of him leaving safety behind, getting off those rafts. Get out of there. Leave that raft. Oh, just flies through the lava, bouncing off one of those blargs, and goes up to a secret little pipe that pretty much no one knows about. You can just go right back through that pipe, and that'll take you to the next room. You don't have to go all the way to the top. He's got himself another Yoshi, so we know something cool is coming up. There's 3 different ways to get through this next section. We'll probably see a safer, like, race-certified way. Yeah, that's the typical strat you would see there, is to leave the raft behind right there at that last choke point. But there's some way cooler ways to get through that, where you can leave that raft behind much, much earlier. He just needs to fly up top, and he's out of that level. So let's turn our attention to Bramz, who's gotten past his first flight. Pretty difficult to get, and now he's going up into the secret pipe to grab himself a Yoshi. Yo, and I want to see more points spent on this this poll here. Who's gonna win? We got some mad money on the line. We've got over 110,000 points in the pool right now. I want to see it over 150. There's only 5 minutes left to guess who's gonna win this match, Bramz or Frieze. Both of them are looking hot right now. We're only in race 1. We're going to race 3. I know it. You know it. The next category is gonna be 96. We're here for the long stay. All right, we see Frieze going through Lemmy's castle now. Such a cool looking first room. Oh? Oh, man. Okay, he wasn't going for an insane strat. I saw Frieze duck into that door in a specific way that caught my attention, and so when his freeze, when the screen freeze happened, it scared me. Man, there's so many different uses of the word freeze in this matchup. You have to be really particular in how I speak. Which is what I'm known for, obviously. Class act over here. Alright, so now he's just got to hope that he gets good spawns from his boy Lemmy. It's looking good on 2. There we go. Alright, after Bramz struggling a little bit in Donut Plains, or not Donut Plains 4, Vanilla Dome 4. There we go. That's that little sticky fly I like seeing. I didn't think he would go for that in a race at all. It's an awesome trick that everyone should go for. It's super flashy. Alright, and here we are today with the Lemmy Picking Lawyer. Alright, gotta click on 1. Little binding on 2. Click. And on pin 3, we've got to click, and that castle is open. In any case, that'll be Lemmy's castle. Thank you for joining us. Oh, we caught ourselves in the middle of Frieze going for CMBK. He just spawned a glitch sprite that is actually a boss from a castle. So a few fireballs to the face, he is out of there. Oof, I really wish I had more time to explain that, but basically there was a lot of glitches going on there, and he was able to very carefully spit out a Koopa Kid glitched sprite into the level, and by defeating it, automatically defeating the level just a hair quicker than if he were to do it normally. And that's that really cool strat too. It's not off to the left. Whoa, my God. The hell was that? Yeah. Held on to jump past his prime. Needs to be looking for a secret exit. We're going back into Soda Lake. That's why he went back into that level. Only 15 seconds left to predict who's going to win. We're not at 150 yet. We need a baller to drop 13,000 points. Closed. We have 137,000 points on the line. 43% of y'all thinking Bramz is going to take this, while Frieze has 57% on the line. This is definitely the most expensive prediction we've ever had here. Good luck to all the punters. Right, getting through Soda Lake, which is oh so interesting. Frieze finds himself finally in Star World, where we can start having some fun here. Woo! Wasn't that great? One of the most exciting exits in Super Mario World. And here in Star World, we've been going through all the levels twice. It's just 5 levels right next to each other. They all have 2 exits. So it's just going to be a lot of double levels back to back. Ooh, almost getting that item fly. Still popping off a 191. Now here in Star World 4, we're going to be flying under the level. It's just kind of easier having everything out of your way. Now that secret exit you see above, he's going to be coming back for. Right now, he's just going to take it all the way to the exit at the end of the level. Bramz is still just right behind him. I read backwards, so that Z at the end caught me. See Frieze going for that secret exit. Bramz has just gotten the normal exit. I mean, he is right there. He's done a really good job of not letting Frieze just run away with that lead. You know, since we have such few frames, I think what we're actually going to do after this match is we're going to print out and have the runner sign all the dozens of frames that we have. And we'll donate it to help get more frames. I'm sure there's some sort of charity that like provides frames for poor restreams. All right, we catch him in the same level once again. Different exits. Bramz going under with that blue Yoshi to grab the key while Frieze is... Oh, Frieze is also going under. They might have diverged during the frame loss. Nice double grab. Oh, the timers are have changed instead. Always a mystery to solve once we come out of a time warp. I feel like Fox Mulder. We're getting to a point where that's too old of a reference, the X-Files. All right, now we got him. The timers are close. We're looking good. Let's see some zips. Whoo! Oh, you scaring me on that second one, though. Scaring me on that second one. Oh, like butter. There's the reason I love Star World 1 so much, man. Whenever you get those zips going, looks so great. So basically on that, you can only have 4 of those turn blocks turning at once. So you get 2 on either side of you turning with that cape. And you just kind of bonk on in there to get a 5th one going above your head. And it's just going to, in order, start stopping those turn blocks that you had previously hit. And it just shoots Mario downwards. It just basically creates like a waterfall of turn blocks starting and stopping. All right, we see Frieze trying to go for some wings here. This is going to be one of many tricks we're going to see with Yoshi here in Special World. And Special's where 96 really shines, in my opinion. Yeah, there's quite a few boring levels in Special. Don't get me wrong. You know, you got to have some veggies with your steak every now and then. Umar saying he can't sync the timers. I think he synced them pretty damn well, in my opinion. Now watch here as he leaves that Yoshi and throws a P-switch up in there. There's a P-balloon in that block, but he can change the contents of a duplicated block, because that's a type of block that its contents depend on its X coordinates in the level, like where it is horizontally. So if he had like duplicated it to the right, he would have gotten a key. If he had duplicated it to the left, as we see, he gets wings. Pretty cool. That's how all those wings have worked that we've been seeing. It's either a key, P-balloon, or wing, and you just gotta kind of duplicate the block whichever direction you need it to show wings. Both of them grabbing just normal wings here in this level. We see Frieze getting out of it there. Bramz is going towards his right now. There's very few that just actually sit in the game. You gotta make them yourself sometimes. Now we got another cool trick here on Frieze's screen. He's gonna try to end the level real quick here. See, he sends that Rex down into the ground. Now he needs to spit out a fish into the pond that comes out of nowhere. And the level ends. Ask me how it works. I don't know. I've got nothing for you on this one. Bramz had to bail on it. It wasn't looking good on his side. He didn't pull it off correctly, so did the smart thing and got out of there quickly with his Yoshi, grabbed a shell, and he's just going to fly through it normally. We got another trick here on Frieze's side, so watch him again. All these kind of look the same. He's going to do a tongue, grab a power-up, and then double tongue an enemy to get a null sprite. And now spitting it out, we see a glitched sprite once again, representing one of the Koopa kids. So a few fireballs to the face, and it's out of there. You can't jump on it for the third hit because he'll take damage. So you just fireball your way through him. Bram's going for his attempt right now. He's bailing on it. He's going to grab that shell and just pick up speed and fly through the level with Yoshi. Frieze is finally going to be ditching his Yoshi for now. He had a great run of the glitchathon. Special World really is unique with all those cool tricks that you have in a row. We've seen Cookie Mountain boss kill from him. We've seen all the wings, really good wings. We've seen all 3 boss kills. This is a run where Frieze is on fire. You know, he's been doing the weeklies a lot lately, and definitely shows. So now he finds himself in just a basic flyover. Bram's currently just flying over the previous level. We can get some breathing done now that we're past the scary parts. Alright, Frieze now on the last level of special to wrap it up. When he gets done here, he's going to be back in World 1 to start cleaning up the worlds that he's previously done, but take the alternate routes. Just kind of knock out the levels that he's already passed. And once they're done with that, we'll find ourselves in Forest of Illusion, and things get pretty crazy once again. Oh, having an interesting little ending there, but no matter. He's still a super player. 14 bonus. Man, thinking about it, with Bramz being so close to Frieze still, and he hasn't gotten much of those hardcore tricks, like his VD1 wings were, well, in the low 40s. Didn't get any boss kills, things like that. Like that's kind of impressive, if anything. That's a pretty hot run. Definitely going ham on all the portions that like aren't the big tricks. Nice little cape turnaround from Frieze there. Getting a cape cancel through that chuck. Alright, and let's see if we get a yump from ISO Frieze. When you land on a switch, you have 1 frame where it considers Mario touching the ground. If you jump on that 1 frame, you can get Mario in the air just like that, up into the text box. Very nice yump from Frieze. Let's see what we got from Bramz here. Flying through the tunnel. Ooh, oof. Oh. It's going on his permanent record. Got that left side, strong side. Alright, Frieze has gotten the normal exit in Donut Plains 1, so now you're gonna start seeing what I mean by like the cleanup portion. They're actually gonna be taking the western route here. And start hitting all these levels that they need to complete. Then after that, they'll have the top route of Vanilla Dome, and they will meet their old path after that. Very nice cradling. Duplicating those blocks up. Look at those buzzy tricks we got coming from Frieze. Just throwing them up in the attic, saving them later for the winter. Smart choice. You can clip through this block here. Yeah, there you go, just like that. These auto scrollers are where the runners just get super bored and just kind of do goofy little tricks, honestly. They're waiting for a pipe that's coming up in the ceiling here on Frieze's screen. Will be the next green pipe you see. He's setting up some flight so he can just get up in there right as he can, like as soon as he can. Doesn't have to wait for that that second layer to push him up into it. And then just fly up and grab that key. All right, we got green switch from Frieze. Bramz losing cape. Goodness gracious. Bless his heart. He's gonna be grabbing the normal exit here. Ooh, Frieze missed a shot, but still made a cradle. Send that one up to the attic. Doing some block dupes there to show off some capes. Oh! You caught me on something I haven't seen anyone do yet. Okay. Doing one of those shell throw dupes. I guess approaching a layer 2 can have its... Wow, okay. I was more impressed by that than anything they're gonna do on purpose this entire run. Not that that wasn't on purpose. All right, well, now we're back at a level we've seen before. Before, Frieze just flew up to the top of the level and got it out of a secret exit. This time they're just gonna go up into the second room and take a hidden door up at the top. Get out of here real quick once again. Hey! Bramz has repented. Getting his jump on the green switch. To me, it's most important you get it on the green switch. I don't know why. I think it's because green is the color of money, and that's pretty cool. Alright, Frieze is going to try to fly up here off that red block. Very nice. Getting the red block thing. Very creative with the strat names we use in the community. Now, this is a really fun exit. I love Vanilla Secret 1. Look at this vertical stage we see ISO Frieze going through. Ooh, having a little bit of slop getting up. deciding to pop on over and grab this exit. We're going to be taking the top route next to continue on to the top of Vanilla Dome. Bramz as well, getting the red block thing. Very nice from Frieze, even taking that one that takes you up to the second platform. It's a good strat right there. Bramz getting the flight up to the secret exit really good. It's a pretty quick landing and takeoff you have to do. All right, and we got some flyover levels. Everyone's favorite. The ISO Frieze has gotten through flyover 1, and now is in the second one where we get to look at some dolphins. No, I always wondered why the dolphins are wearing goggles, and then it hit me. It's so they don't get water in their eyes. So that's the only time we're going to see the dolphins for Frieze. Bramz is going to be going in there shortly. Now this fortress can look a little threatening sometimes if you're not used to this game. But honestly, it's really not. This section Frieze is going through is where we'll see trouble, if any. It's like taking hit from one of those triangles coming down. But really just avoiding the fish, and when you see the spike and chain, the ball and chains, you just get close to them and they can't hit you. So kind of like approaching the danger keeps you safe. Alright, now we get to see a Reznor fight. These always go smoothly. Hey, you got out of there pretty good. Alright, the beginning of our restream, we had some dropped frames. A lot of dropped frames. And as you can see now, we've had a pretty great restream since then. And that's all been because of a generous donation of frames from the Butterbridge 1 Foundation. Butterbridge 1 is changing lives around the world, helping those in need. Those who don't have the frames to continue a quality production. So make sure you donate to Butterbridge 1 today. It's a great organization. And also you don't pay taxes in Dinosaur Land. So that's pretty neat. I don't know how that really ties in, but just saying. I'm just assuming you don't pay taxes in Dinosaur Land. I don't really know. Because if they were paying to, like, if you paid taxes in Dinosaur Land, I would be so mad if they were building stuff like this. Like, look at all those faulty blocks that just disappear and turn invisible on Frieze's screen. That's not quality production. That's no bid contracting. See Frieze severing the head of one of the workers at Butter Bridge 1 before leaving with the 24. That's kind of rude, but whatever. You know, I gotta say, all these Koopas do look eerily like Mario. Makes me wonder what these boys were doing first time they were going through these levels, you know? Something happened in Special World during these dropped frames. Alright. Iso Frieze has now converged with his previous route. Hitting a really cool castle. Watch here as he's ground pounding real hard, getting those enemies out of the way, and then cape canceling through those ball and chains. Now going through the Potaboo room, he needs to hit that switch and then avoid these fireballs. If they hit him, there's a big chance you go straight in that lava. Now he needs to make his way up these cages as fast as he can. This is actually a pretty sloppy moment for lots of newer runners, but I'm sure they're going to put on really impressive room 3s like Frieze just did. Got up them cages real fast. Bramz taking a slightly different strat in room 2, really flying low there. Holy cow. Let's see how his room 3 is. He also drops the flower low. Wow, whoa! Didn't get over to the right far enough. That Koopa was, man, really in his way. Doesn't have the fireball to hit Ludwig twice, so he's going to have to rely on 3 hits. However, he can do a small skip in between those 3 hits. You see how Ludwig turns into a shell in between mazes here. If Bramz can hit Ludwig in the air, he's going to skip a shell phase and be able to get his second and third hit subsequently like that. Alright, so Frieze grabbing a Yoshi, so y'all know what's up. Something cool is going to happen a little later. Alright, Frieze has duplicated some wings off that P-Balloon, and he's getting out of there. Finishing the level with a 251. He's going to be making his way to Forest of Illusion 2. This is where we saw Yoshi clips earlier in the run, and I'm going to be able to explain them much better here. So he did a little dismount against the ceiling there, and that's going to set Yoshi's subpixel to what he wants. Now watch him dismount near the top and pull Yoshi into the corner. Now once you're in there, tightly in the corner, you do a quick dismount again, and there's a chance that you slip through. With the correct subpixel manipulation, 75% chance you'll get through, as we saw Iso Frieze get through on his first try. Bramz looks like he's going for wings as well. Duplicate P-Balloons to the left. You can get out of there. Doesn't matter if it's to the left like Iso Frieze did or to the up left like Bramz did. All that matters is that it's on that column of tiles to the left. It can be anywhere up or down, but you're only going to get dupes to the side or upside in that particular case. Grabbing a backup flower. He's got less time for his clip here. Oh, and he dropped his Yoshi. That's going to put Yoshi Subpixel out in Nowhereville. Who knows what it is? His chances, are in his favor because he is in after dropping the Yoshi. That's definitely a big sigh of relief. ISO Frieze back and forth to Illusion 1. He's going to be grabbing a key exit. So he's got flight. Watch, he's going to take a little dip under here. Boom. And there's a key. And he can head on to the ghost house that's off to the west. All right, we got another left side switch from Bramz there. Getting the fourth and final switch as Frieze is going through a really cool exit. Lots of nice cape canceling, and you just go over that wall. You don't play the booze puzzle and go through all the doors and whatnot. No, you just go over the wall right at the beginning. Far door first. You'll notice he flew over a door to get to that one. He'll be going back into this level to grab that other exit later. Funny enough, that exit's just going to send him right back. So that is an exit, even though it doesn't look like it. It does put him back in Forest of Illusion 2 with the Yoshi. So once again, quick dismount on the ceiling. Now he's going to dismount once again up top. Oh, time's counting down. A remount in the corner, and he is in there. First try once again. Oh, Bramz, what are you doing? So it looked like he just kind of took some random damage there. Oh, that's not good to not fly over the wall. Man, I didn't see when he entered the level. Did he have a fire flower? Did he have something? Did he have something to drop? He went for that Forest Ghost House clip, which is absolutely insane. If he had gotten that, I mean, that I would have just handed him the win. We'll just kill Restream. 2 capes. Oh man. That's a very hardcore strat that lots of people joke about doing in tournament races and whatnot. I was not prepared to even be ready to see an attempt at that. All right, so grabbing that key, they're just gonna take that normal exit. ISO Frieze has gotten out of Forest of Illusion 3. They're gonna be going back into the ghost house to grab that door that they flew over earlier. Once again, Frieze will just fly over this wall here. He's just gonna grab the first door he sees right here. And he's out. Now Bramz going through Forest of Illusion 3. We saw this with Frieze, but it's not something I'd mentioned, that when he goes, they're actually going to go and grab that far exit. What's the normal exit? And that actually puts him further into the Forest of Illusion. That's what makes this forest so spooky. The secret exits are really what get you out of here. Little bonk on the head from ISO Frieze. Now getting right in that pipe. Shows the secret exit. That was a nice little kill on the enemy guarding the pipe. Bramz go for it once again. Nope. Despawned that cape. That explains why I didn't see it earlier there. Just So he's gonna have to go through the long way. Or I guess he had grabbed it the first time. That's how he was able to fly through. Ooh, nice side block grab on that flower. I was gonna ask how comfortable he was grabbing power-ups in this room. I guess the answer is very. Because I am not at all. So now y'all get to see the normal way this level was supposed to be done. You see ISO Frieze going through the tree for it. Maybe you can show off clipping into these. As long as Mario's not touching the ground, you can just go right into those from the side. Don't let them crush you, but you can crush them back. Oh, flying under that saw, making it through. Stop dragging on the carpet. There you go. Run towards that door that's gonna be coming up. Oh, Bramz getting a real interesting kill on that pipe Lakitu there. This is a really fun room that Frieze is in. Nice cape cancels. That's something you're gonna see a lot in these runs if I haven't explained it before. If you just jump into things with a cape, like once you go into flight mode, as you see Bramz is right now, right? You got that cape pulled out behind you. You can just run into things and you'll just cancel the damage and go into a spin and iframes. So you just go on by. Cape is super OP in this game. Alright, so ISO Frieze has one little stop he needs to make. He's got to get the normal exit on this, and then he'll be ready to get out of this forest and head towards Roy's castle, where we've seen so many deaths in this tournament. Roy's castle is always definitely a VIP in these races. ISO Frieze finds himself back in Forest of Illusion 3 to grab that secret exit I had mentioned earlier. It's going to be in a pipe near the very end of the level. So, you still get to see it all through a fly-through. Bramz is in a Reznor fight. Looking good. Alright, now Frieze finds herself in Roy's castle. Watch this flight here. It's going to stick close to the ceiling, and right before the Potoboos come, dive out of their way and pull back up. Then continue flight through this spike room. He should have been riding a snake train this whole time, but he's just going to fly through the whole castle. Now you can see why there's been so much danger. That green block in the way because of the switch they got earlier. And then switching over to Fire Flower so that once again 2 fireballs and a jump will get the boss out of there. And we'll finish that castle real smooth with a 263. Alright, and Bramz going through Forest of Illusion 3, looking for the secret exit as well. And then we'll get his attempt at Roy's castle. ISO Frieze has a pretty strong lead now over a Roy's castle worth, which is a real unit of time. You get to see a cool little minor trick here from Frieze potentially. If he can take off and make it into this pipe quickly, like that, he should be able to come out of this pipe here flying. Typically, when you come shooting out of those pipes, you're not able to come out in a flight state like that. But through clever use of the takeoff meter in this game, Frieze was able to shoot out of there super fast and continue flying at that speed. And it's about 20% faster than your typical, than you would see Mario flying. Like how we see Bramz flying. It's fast, but it's not as fast as Cannon Fly. Alright, Bramz has gotten through Roy's castle. You only have to really go back for that fire flower near the door. Otherwise, he had a really good Roy's castle. Well, ISO Frieze is gonna take some... Oh, did he get the door fly? Nah. It's not that open, I guess. It looks like Bramz is going to get the cannon fly as well. Very nice. Nice, so Frieze we see just chugging along through Chocolate Island 2. Not grabbing a Yoshi this time around. Gonna go up into Chocolate Secret, knock that out real quick, and then come back to Chocolate Island 2 and start doing the rest of the mainland of Chocolate Island. Alright, great room 1 for ISO Frieze. I've seen this room 2 goof up a lot more people than I thought it would in this tournament. Not sure what it is about this room that's just like randomly decided to start taking people out. Bramz, did you? Oh no! Oh, I was hoping the stream just froze. He fell victim to the spooky door. That's spooky. Did have a backup flower. He can grab another cape here in room 1. That is definitely unfortunate. That hole in the ground's coming right at you as you see that door, so it's definitely a risk to get it. He's going for all the big things. I like it. That's what I want to see. If you're going to lose power-ups, have it beat a Forest Ghost House. If you're going to die, have it beat a spooky door. Go ham. That's what we're here for. Alright, now you see Frieze grabbing a bunch of coins. I thought this was a speed run. Well, this level's very unique, and the rooms you go into are gonna change. Like once he goes through this room, this doesn't look familiar. If he grabbed, I believe it's 21 or more coins in room 1, it changes the outcome of room 2. Now the outcome of room 3 is dependent on the in-game timer at 250 or less. So now he's just waiting on top of that pipe till it gets around 250, and he's setting up a pipe fly so he can go into room 3 with a 249 on the timer. And now this room 3 is different than what we saw previously as well. This is the only level where those unique differences happen. But it is something to note, because otherwise, why else would they be just grabbing a bunch of coins and waiting around, and it would look super disrespectful. There we go. Bramz taking flight in room 2. Catching a corner, though. ISO Frieze is just flying above. Sometimes it can be pretty difficult depending on like where you are in your cape pump cycle to just make it over those pipes. Because they do just end at the top of the screen. Like there's space above them, but not that much. Because there is screen boundaries where like you can't fly above a certain part. Alright, Bramz is back in Chocolate Island 2 to grab his coins, get the alternative exit. So Frieze flying over a goal he's gotten previously to get a secret goal. Well, don't tell anyone about that secret, alright? Seriously. Jerry doesn't know yet. Alright, and everyone's favorite, Choco Fort for ISO Frieze. This level's just a big stinker. Those pencils have the funkiest hitboxes. You got these fireballs coming at you, dry bones in the way. It's not fun for anyone involved. This is a pretty fun room that ISO Frieze finds himself in, though. Taking off a pretty unique way of flying that you don't typically see in the rest of the speed run by falling off ledges while having your takeoff timer enabled. It's a pretty fun way to run yourself up to a Reznor fight. Having to take a little delay there before the 4th Reznor because they were coming in hot. This is a pretty interesting level that ISO Frieze is in. It's one that has a bunch of these moles around. It also has like the chocolatey lava instead of red lava. Pretty unique level design compared to the rest of the game. It's very similar actually to Valley of Bowser 1, which we'll see shortly after this world. Alright, ISO Frieze is gonna pick up his buddy Yoshi, which will come in handy during the Valley of Bowser to get out of one of the levels earlier with the set of natural wings. Right, ISO Frieze finds himself in my favorite castle. Check out how cool all this movement is. Cape canceling through these saws, flying up in the air. Got one more cape cancel here to get past that crusher right before it killed him. He's not done yet though. Watch, just barely navigating through those saws. Taking a cape cancel on the crusher as he goes into room 2. This room is super acrobatic. Watch him just spin fly through the crevices here and get up and do a quick cape pump because there was a tile in the ceiling coming down. Getting out of the way of the little Sparky and hitting Windy. Bramz struggling in that Reznor fight there. But he's wishing that Frieze took a little longer on Windy's castle. That way I wouldn't have noticed. I would have just come back to him with a cape, hanging out. He'll be making his way to Windy's castle shortly. Windy's the best castle, hands down. Like on a scale from Lemmy to Windy, Windy is definitely windy. All right, Frieze is now going through the sunken ghost ship. Now he's going to take 2 purposeful hits here and hope to not get hit on this Yoshi again. He's positioned those boo clouds to hopefully be up on the screen by the time that the first of 2 boo rings spawns in this level. If it is, it's not going to spawn the first boo ring. He looks good because that boo cloud was on screen pretty late. So yeah, there should be a boo ring there, but there's not. You do see the second of 2. You see that boo cloud and the boo ring share the same on-screen flag in the game. So when it tries to spawn that first of 2 boo rings, with the boo cloud still up, that flag is set to it's already on screen. So the game thinks, oh, well, I don't need to spawn it. It's there. So it totally skips that one. Get you through pretty nice. It's not that bad with the Yoshi to take a hit, but it always is nice to squeeze a little bit out of it. Now he's fallen through the final room and gotten his orb. Now going through Valley of Bowser 1. This is a really fun level. I know that the moles are awful hitboxes and all that. I just like like we see Frieze doing, there's lots of little hang-ups in this level. You really got a speed racer to get through this pretty easily. Alright, now in Valley of Bowser 2 with his Yoshi. That's exactly what this Yoshi's here for. Bramz got his despawn on the first boo ring, as Frieze takes a door fly in the ghost house. Let's see how sexy Slide is, though. He's going to take off in the air and try to squeeze a 2-tile Mario into a 1-tile gap, getting out of there with a 277. Can't complain about that. Orb. Frieze taking the third door to grab the other exit here in the ghost house. Gonna be moving on to some lesser known levels of the game. You don't see these too often in other speedruns. You get to see this route in all vines, though. Hottest category 2021. Patent pending. Bramz making some good work of Vob 1 there while we see ISO Frieze going through Vob 3. Both require like very precise movement if you want to get through easily. You definitely don't want to mess up Vob 3. Bramz having some struggles with that Chuck there. Convinced him to get out of the way with violence, though. Usually works. Now ISO Frieze finds himself in the one level that's required to have a Yoshi to get out of. Gonna hope to take this Yoshi all the way to the end, where we're gonna find a key inside of a wall that Yoshi needs to eat out from, like, through the wall, essentially. It's kind of weird that they force that mechanic in this game when it's so unintuitive. Right there. Eating the key through the wall. And then using it on the keyhole above. It's going to unlock the final exit to Star World. They've already finished Star World, though, so he's going to go back in this level and once again use that Yoshi to fly all the way to the end. This time taking the gold tape. Bramz not getting the super sexy he was going for. Twice. Able to squeeze on in there. It's kind of a gross slide, though. Nothing sexy. Tossing that Yoshi. You've done us good, Yoshi. Thank you for all your services. Now ISO Frieze is going to be going into Larry's castle. This is a very formidable castle. He's got this flight in room 1. Oh, didn't get the flight in room 1. He's gonna try to retake flight here off the platform. Kind of throws off where his cape pumps are, but he's fine. Now he's in room 2 where things heat up even more. He's got a Magic Koopa to worry about. Those pencils that we saw in Choco for it. Bunch of turn blocks in the way. Magic Koopa, what are you doing? He's trying to finish a speed run here. Get out of the way. You better hope that Magic Koopa doesn't come back right now. Oh, there he is. Fortunately spawning behind the Mario instead of on the door like I had suspected he was going to. He gets out of there with 2 capes in his life. See Bramz in Valley of Bowser 4, taking his Yoshi for a nice little casual stroll. See, he got that secondary Yoshi that just turned into a 1-up. Did you know 1-ups are just unfertilized Yoshis? It's true. That's why they're safer to eat. Grabbing that key and getting out of there. He's gonna go back in to get the normal exit, though. All right, Frieze, you gonna go for any sort of sandbar clip today? I'm not sure if I would risk it, but he's got a strong lead. He could sacrifice some clips. Alright, Bramz going through room 1. This is where we saw Frieze drop flight early. Bramz making it through pretty nice. Hopefully this room 2 is better on him than it was on Frieze. We also saw Frieze lose a cape to Magic Koopa's spawn after the second set of turn blocks right here. Get rid of him. Oh my goodness. Moments before he was about to shoot his magic, Bramz is able to get rid of that Magic Koopa. Great entrance on that Larry, too. right, Frieze got a little hung up there on a platform. He's gonna take a crusher cycle real quick to gather his composure. This hallway stinks because you gotta slow down to hit those enemies. Because if you just run full force into an enemy while swinging your cape, there's a chance that like you're gonna try to hit them on a frame where there's no real object interaction with the cape, and you'll just take damage. Old games work in funky ways. Have a nice flight through these crushers though. Woo! A dive bomb under the Podoboo. I'm gonna write about that to Mama when I get off the work here. All right, this Bramz going big. We're gonna see a sandbar clip here. Oh, my boy. Ooh, hoo. I don't know about that. That was pretty sketchy there. Very nice, getting all the way there to the end. He'll be in the fortress soon while we've got ISO Frieze already here in the Bowser fight. He's got his cape, so he should be looking good. Now just a reminder, this is race 1, best of 3. After this, we'll be spinning the wheel again for a chance at no cape, no Star World, or a second 96. ISO Frieze going for ball skip here. When that first ball is dropped, he's going to pull Bowser over to the right side and give him a little bump on the noggin. And that's going to make him go back to throwing Mecha Koopas. Bramz is scaring the hell out of me in the Cobb Fort. Alright, he made it through. He's got a Reznor fight to get through, though. This is a really tense moment, because those platforms really want to jump you around, as you saw in that second jump he made. Small Mario and Reznor platforms do not play friendly. Alright, Frieze got his 5th hit by throwing up through the clown car. So he's just gonna fly up, and once Bowser stops, boom. Meet him up at the top and bonk him with that 6th and final hit, finishing him with a 124.43. GG's to ISO Frieze. We've got Bramz in the Bowser fight too. He'll be finishing up shortly. Bramz is going into his phase 2 to do his ball skip. He's going to be going in no cape. It can be a little dangerous. Sometimes you'll see people take damage over the first ball. He's still going to pull him over to the right side, just like the cape ball skip. Doing a duck jump to kind of ensure he doesn't take damage. That's a smart move. You'll see lots of people spin jump with the big Mario, and it's like, man, you're going to get hit by that propeller then. All right, he is out of his phase 2, going into the 3rd and final phase. Eating fistfuls of mushrooms on the way. Me too, brother. I watch as he throws up through the clown car. If he were to do that after Bowser had like kind of opened his eyes and turned into the enemy Bowser, it would have just bounced off that car. But by just throwing it through the sprite, he's fine. Nice 6 hit, coming off the right side. Ending with a 126.59. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and give these runners a minute to rest. We'll be back to figure out the next race. There's an option now. It's gonna be randomized. We don't know what it's gonna be yet. All right, it's gonna be 96 again, or No Cape, No Star World. And once again, I apologize. We don't have the wheel set up for this restream, so I'm doing it myself here off the restream. I apologize. You guys don't get to watch it go. Oh, there's a change I didn't realize. This whole time, I thought that it had picked the other person's 96. It's not 96 or No Star World. It's 96 or all switches. Which means that the prophecy still could happen. We could get a 96 on this second race, tie it up and go to the third race for a No Cape, No Star World, and have one of the longest races ever. All right, I've spun the wheel. I'm gonna let the runners know before I let y'all know what it is. But I'm gonna let y'all know now that the big wheel has decided the fate of these two runners. We're looking at 96 exit, y'all. We're looking at 96 exit for race 2. Buckle up. They got no chill. They're ready to go right now. They're not waiting around. Back-to-back 96s right now. There was also the 96 weekly race earlier today at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. They're going whole hog on that. Welcome to the 96 day. I thought it was September 6th. My buddy tells me it's June 9th. We argue about it a lot. But apparently it's today. Good luck to both of our runners. Bramz needs to win this to stay in. All right, going through Yoshi's Island 3 here. We just need to run on these platforms, make it all the way to the end, hoping for a 2:59 on the timer. I'm going to be honest. Having to commentate this second 96 after doing that full one is kind of like playing that game Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy. And I've just been knocked all the way down the mountain, and I have to start all over again. Gotta have a whole new set for you guys. All right, we got this. We didn't get a shell jump from either of them. Now, we saw pretty much all the big tricks from ISO Frieze last 96. We saw Bramz go for all the big tricks. I want to see it flip-flop. We got to go to third race. We're taking it all the way. Yeah, fortunately, last race I was able to rely on all the dropped frames to fill the time. Now I actually have to watch things like Iggy's auto-scroller. Thankfully, they're getting out of World 1 here soon, so we can start getting to all the interesting levels. 240 from Bramz, though. Interesting. ISO Frieze was able to get that 241. I wasn't able to see, but I wonder if Bramz missed the door. You know, I was just speculating. I would never accuse someone of missing a door. I just speculate. You know, it could be due to paranormal activity. Who knows? Now, something we haven't talked about is how much flyover levels like this really can differ due to Mario's oscillating flight speed. When he's actually flying like this, I meant oscillating speed, not flight speed earlier, sorry. Mario's speed normally oscillates. And when you fly and start getting into that flight state, your speed actually locks onto one of 5 possible values, from 47 to 51 subpixels per frame. And that can actually make a big difference over the course of a level. The previous level can make a difference of 2 to 3 in-game seconds, depending on how well you execute your key grab. It definitely like puts your K-pumps in a weird spot, especially when trying to get over that pipe. So if you have a slower flight speed, it can be kind of difficult to get out of there cleanly. But we have several flyover levels where that's going to matter. And there's been many races that I've seen where little things like flight speed really would have changed the course of a race. Not saying that an epic race that comes down to flight speed is about to happen here today. I'm just willing it into existence. Ooh, little clip on that corner there, getting a sick door from Bramz though. He finished much later than Frieze, who was able to catch back up here. Seems like there might have been a little cursing done on his ghost house. They're going back to the water. Oh, we saw an issue with dry room last race, so I am worried about this place. I've seen dry room mess up a lot of runners in this tournament. It's pretty interesting how tournaments definitely show like the same stuff from when you start running still trip you up, which is awesome and totally not demoralizing at all. 255 from both of them. That's all right. Decent, decent. Nice 86 door from Bramz there. Taking advantage of that flight to get to the door. And going under the P-switch as opposed to over. I love it. Love it. Look how in sync they are. Woo. Don't look at the timers. Just look at the screens, all right? Very nice. Very nice. Oh, it's a face-off. Oh, it's a face-off. Love to see it.
Hello?
Yo, Mike.
Why did I just hear myself? Oh, you know, it's a good idea to mute the stream when you're
I was about to say. I realized immediately what you had done.
Yeah, I was like, oh. Same thing I always do.
Yeah, we got our second 96 with these.
It's
fellas
happening
here.
again, but so I had the stream on my computer and on my TV, and now I can hear us through my TV.
Well, you're watching on 2 devices. That's like manual botting, dude. You're gonna get us shut down.
I mean, is it botting if it's manual though?
That's so
Isn't
deep.
the bot the thing that's
I'll
supposed to make it
have to
not
check
manual?
Check in with my buddy Isaac Asimov about that. Oop, a little slip on that pipe. This Donut Plains 3, all they really got to worry about is this early flight off the swinging platforms.
Yeah, it's not as hard as it seems like it could be, but it's also one of those things where in a race setting, you'll mess it up every now and then. No problem.
And the backup sucks for it. Once you notice that it's happening, you really
Yeah.
gotta act fast. Ooh, nice block jump from Bramz there. All right, time to grab another Yoshi.
Always a
Now,
big
Frieze?
fan of Yoshi. You know,
Yeah.
you see one of those, you know something good's coming up.
He's the best wingman ever.
Ha! I see what you're doing there. I get your joke. And for anyone who doesn't get it, you'll learn soon enough.
Yoshi's and Wing go hand in hand.
Well, everyone's got a Yoshi. Everyone's cleanly through. Let's hope we can fly out of this castle nice and easy.
Hopefully, I love Morton's Castle. Whenever you do that second room, right? Which I guess technically is room 3, but I just call it room 2. Screw it.
I mean, well, what are you considering room 2 if this is room 3?
Some people have argued the bonus room.
Oh, Frieze, what's going on, bud?
Frieze this is Morton's castle, not Volpe's castle.
All right. Well, that's only a cycle. That's in a 96 run, one cycle. That's not going to be the worst thing, but that's not something you want to happen so early on.
Oh no.
Oh, that
does the switch up top. I do the switch up top as well. I'm not sure why it's something I'm more comfortable with. It's just something I've always done.
I was just a little sketched out because it looked like that flower was going to get lost in the wall. I get scared. I lose everything in the wall.
Time to see what this Yoshi does. Bramz had some interesting wings last time. I want him to go good for him this time because Frieze got like a hot 378, I want to say, last time. So, I mean, Frieze is coming up hot right now. Bramz needs to get the hell out of here.
Oh, okay, we got a good first dupe.
Yep, he's grabbed the coin. Now he just needs one more dupe to the right.
Oh, that's... All right, let's see. Okay,
get it and go. 365. Oh, and Frieze's shell is up top.
Much better. He's not having much better luck. That's not fun. All right. Well, they both had relatively unpleasant wings compared to what I've seen them both do, but a little bit of an advantage for Bramz. But oh man, that's sad.
Frieze got kicked out a lot on this one last time and just had weird mounting issues. Bramz is through. If ISO Frieze gets this in one hit, he'll definitely have caught up a little bit here. Now he needs to go around for another one. All right, so we've kept about the same lead. Bramz definitely got more of a lead with his wings, 5 in-game seconds. Oh, that's such a hot
You love to see the fast red switch. Oh, here it goes again. Beautiful.
That was... Frieze's red switch is a little less scary. Both of them getting through it, though.
What do you mean scary? That's just fun.
Nothing. I am not throwing any commentator curse on Bramz for this one. We're going to game 3. No, God damn it!
No.
Why did I say that? I made it happen by saying I wouldn't do it. Grab the cape! What are you doing to me? This is all my fault. Oh no.
Oh no.
This is all my fault.
This is a disaster. All right, well, here comes Frieze. All right, oh man, this level, I get it, man. I get it. Like, you see that happen, that's a level, once something goes wrong, it's just gonna keep going wrong, in my experience, and I feel it. You know what, though? Let's look at the bright side here. Bramz still has both power-ups. And that's kind of huge. Because that was kind of dicey that whole time.
I mean, you're not wrong, yeah. It was pretty
And we're
scary.
still in the same level. Like, as bad as it looked, it really wasn't that bad when you look at how close they still are.
You're not helping me feel better. You're like a dad saying, like, well, look at the bright side. Now we can get a new dog.
We can just start a new run.
Yeah, we're only 16 minutes in. We have so much longer in this category for things to go right. Especially VD3 coming up. We'll see if this one's an issue. I believe we saw normal raft strats from both of these runners last time. Nothing
I mean, I
crazy
think
like
that's very
blarg or
fair to
raft
do.
skip. Yeah, in a race, absolutely. I'll just stick with like normal stuff once I get my Yoshi.
All right, Bramz
Blarg
recovered
skip
that
is
pretty
pretty
well.
hot for races, though. You don't see a lot of people go for blarg skip in PB attempts, because why not just go for raft skip if you're doing that? But like blarg skip in races, that's pretty hot.
Yeah, honestly, blarg skip isn't even that much more difficult than the regular skip, in my opinion.
Not that
Like,
much, but
it is a
definitely
little
much more.
sketchier, but like,
It's much easier than raft skip and saves a good amount of time. Yeah, both of them going through normally with their Yoshi.
Yeah, and honestly, even learning the normal strat through here is pretty tough. Like,
learning it
that's sort of
sucks.
one of
Once
the
you get it
big.
down, hopefully it's good.
Once you get it down, it's pretty consistent, but that's like one of the big sort of figuring out cape mechanics in this game, I think, is getting the Yoshi through this level successfully.
Now, I noticed Bramz oddly like slid to a halt with his Yoshi, and I don't have his audio, but I can only imagine he tried Yoshi flying through that top section and it bit him in the ass.
He did cancel into a muncher, it looked like, as well, so.
Yeah, his speed was weird. I just typically see that grind to a halt after a Yoshi fly. Nice looking VD4s from them. That was a little sketchy last race.
I really like VD4. I don't know why. It's so satisfying to just.
It's the worst of all the internal VDs, like in the cave. Oh God, I should really think before I speak. It's like, it's the worst of the vanilla dome levels inside of the cave.
Oh man. Well, the Magic Koopa doesn't look like caused any problems. You know,
That's
look at
good.
the
They
bright
tend to
side.
do
They
that.
both have capes, you know.
You're just pulling bright side. I like how you keep bringing up the bright side, and every time the bright side's the same thing. Well, they got
I
a cape.
mean-
That's
Losing cape sucks, man.
that's true.
You know, Magic Koopa is he's a big hunter of capes.
I love that little mini sticky fly that Bramz does.
Yeah, that should be worth at least like 2 seconds. You know, we can just like subtract 2 seconds from Bram's timer for that.
Nice spawns for Bramz. Kept him out of the way of pretty much all the fire.
I think it depends which sticky fly. That sticky fly is probably like, let's say, 3/4 of a yump.
Alright, now Bramz just has to fly over to the right. This is actually a very simple level.
All right, so it looks like we're just gonna be cruising over Cookie Mountain.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, didn't ISO Frieze go for CMBK last time?
Got a great CMBK last time. We had some connection issues with him, and I didn't see the beginning of his Cookie Mountain, so I didn't see if he tossed or lost.
If I remember right, because that's about when I jumped in. He got the fast one.
Yeah, last race for sure. I'm just not sure if he muscle memory tossed his Yoshi at the beginning of Cookie Mountain and flew through.
Gotcha.
Or if he lost his Yoshi somehow in Butterbridge.
I'm gonna go with muscle memory tossed it because I didn't see anyone get hurt and lose a Yoshi. Everyone went into.
Maybe we had connection issues with him for a while. Did he go into Cookie Mountain with the Yoshi? Man, something paranormal's going on here.
Dude, this stream's freaking me out.
He didn't go in with the Yoshi. That's even weirder.
Okay, so something happened.
He didn't lose it in DP4. Something happened to that Yoshi. He disappeared sometime during the stream glitch. We've got our detectives working on it.
After hours mystery investigation here.
I've been watching a lot of that new Law and Order. I'm so down. Dibs Elliot Stabler.
Damn it.
That makes you Olivia Benson.
Damn it.
She's great in her own right.
No, she is great, but you know, God, I can't remember any of the names. Who's Ice-T? I want to be him.
I think he still goes by Ice-T.
Well, no, I
think
mean,
they just call him Ice-T. Yeah, they just call him Ice-T. They never gave his character a name.
Detective Ice-T.
They just go, yo, Ice-T, former rapper turned cop. He plays himself. All right, now we're in Star World. Get to see some interesting exits.
All right, there's my favorite. Star World 3. Oh, man, that feels good. Oh, here comes another one.
Oh, tricked you.
Oh, man. Oh, give it to me. Ooh.
I gotta go.
Oh, man, you can't just keep giving me the Star World 3, man. Too good. Although, I hope Bramz is aware that did we miss that? Is he up and exit? Did he do the
What I would
exit?
imagine is maybe we're gonna see we're gonna see a difference in Yoshis for Star World 5, but you grab your yellow Yoshi before the pipe there. I know there's
the route
that
weird,
route
man.
where there's a route where you take the Star World 3 normal last and then track
I know,
your way
but
back.
that's weird.
And I'm just trying to figure out logistically why that would be.
Maybe like one less button press on Overworld or something.
Yeah, the button presses per Overworld have gotten pretty insane lately. It's best we can serve those.
Yeah, there's only a limited number of pads, and you know, some of those shops are still saying they're not shipping worldwide, so gotta conserve.
If what I'm reading is correct and there's no time gain or loss, then Bramz is just doing it to make our lives harder because now they're desynced on their runs until we get through Star World.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be like something where they have to do a whole lot of backtracking and stuff. That's not even helpful. At least it's not interesting levels. And they'll be synced up again by the time we get to interesting levels.
Bro, did you just call Star World 1 not interesting? 'Cause
Yes.
I will throw hands, bro. I will
throw
hands.
Throw them.
Later. Bramz had some hot zips on that one, man. Getting out of there with that 291.
I wish I could do zips well. Heard there's this video I can watch about zips and why they suck.
Yeah, the one where I never explained why they suck.
Yeah.
You know what can I say? I was cursed with the natural 291.
Is that really a curse, though?
No, it's great. It's afforded me like every benefit in life so far.
Oh, well, hey, look, there's... man, the final Star World. I was getting a little shaky there.
You needed your fix to Star World 3?
You gotta have 4 of them in a 96 race.
Your tolerance is so high these days. I can watch 2 Star World 3s and be fine.
Just imagine how I would feel if I got to watch the weekly. You know, you get about 20 minutes in, 25 minutes in, and just all of a sudden, bam, 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 Star World 3 everywhere.
They just start popping off. And depending on route differences, man, you could have a steady stream. Whoa, later one up. All right, time for some more Star World 1. We got even more zips. Man, Frieze killing the zip game right now.
Yeah, those are fantastic.
Whew!
Oh man,
shouldn't
and
have
we
said
ruined
anything.
it. Ruined it. Oh, here comes Bramz. Oh, well, you know what? I'm not allowed to talk anymore. But I'm still going to.
I always talk smack about not believing in commentators' curses before this race. I know something spooky's going on here.
Yeah, you see, the problem here is yesterday I said, hey, I'm going to come and curse all your guys' races. So, what did I tell you?
That's true. Mike was knocked out of the tournament. What was it, yesterday, 2 days ago? And he is about to commentator curse everyone who still is around. I shouldn't have allowed you in here. I just let a murderer into the house.
Yeehaw, these runs are over, everybody. We're gonna have a double forfeit. That's how bad this is gonna get.
All right, they're both still super close. Now they're both in special. Frieze had a hell of a special last time, getting pretty much everything he was going for. Now this works just like VD1. They're going to be duplicating stuff up into the bottom half of a dragon coin. Collect the dragon coin, and then depending on where that invisible box is in the level, it'll have wings. Sometimes it needs a little extra dupe, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, pretty good wings for both of them there.
Oh, we got a race, fellas. Come on, Bramz, get some wings.
Oh no. Oh no. Okay, this is... I honestly think when you see a really good player not get the wings, it's kind of a test of like, hey, do you remember how this Yoshi thing works in this level? Because it can still be pretty easy to miss, I think.
You're
Or
gonna
just
do
not
that
be
to me.
prepared.
That's like the second or third time Frieze is just like giving a little opening, and then Bramz will just do the same thing Frieze has done. That's terrifying. That's the perfect matchup.
All right, we got our wings. We're out. And I think they both went for arc last time, so
I'm not saying a goddamn word.
I'm gonna say everything. Let's see what happens here. I think you can still set this up. So now he's gonna have to go through. Oh, not quite. Oh man. Okay. Oh man. Okay. Come on, Bramz. You can do it. You know, I started talking again and it just started being a disaster. Oh, whoa. Okay.
Oh my
Man.
God.
That was... I mean, that was pretty unpleasant for both of them. Let's be honest. That wasn't ideal in either situation, but...
Why did Frieze bail on that?
I'm not sure. Everything looked right to me, but I trust that he knows better than we do on that one. Everything looked right to me.
If you're just joining us, I'd like to welcome you to Race 2 Best Out of 3 for our Class A runners. Still staying so close. Nice. I like to take off Bramz. Oh no!
Oh no!
God! I'm never gonna learn.
I was.
Let him
Oh
do
no!
things first.
I was gonna remark too on like, man, if you take into account this like slight desync on the timers, they're like right there. But you cursed it before I could, I guess.
You know, it's what I do best.
Hey, let's look at the bright side. Bram still has a cave. And, you know, I've lost many a cape in Mondo, so you really don't want to do that. So these next two levels are flyovers, and, like, pretty much the next little bit until Ludwig is flyovers.
Yep, true that. Doing a great job tapping left, fellas. Getting through those levels.
You know, it's pretty hard to keep that, what is it, 16 frame rhythm?
No. What? Hitting left every 16 frames? How fast are you cape pumping, bro?
Dude, always. You just gotta mash it. I just keep hitting it and hope for the best. What the fuck is... Ooh, language. My bad. But what the heck is that? Okay, someone, no one hit the button, please. I said a bad word.
You know what that means? You gotta do 60 Butterbridge ones.
Oh, no. Never. Never. I said a bad word, everybody. But it's okay, everyone's a super player. That makes up for it, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, actually. I
What's
forgot about
16
that.
frames? What? There's something that's 16
What's
frames
16
that I'm
frames?
faking.
So many, what are you
There's
talking
something
about?
that 16 frames is significant in this game. For some reason.
Your memory?
Maybe.
Making their way to the yellow switch.
The cape float frame rule, the general float frame rule. Thank you, Chad. I'm not as crazy as I thought I was going.
Yeah. We're not history buffs, all right? We don't know any things about any general float or whatever you guys are talking about.
We just know numbers are important. And then you push the buttons to go
Yeah, I
fast.
don't study the military. Nice
yump.
from ISO Frieze. Bramz is right behind him.
Sadly, Bramz couldn't follow up the yump. Well, I'll put a single tear down as we fly through Donut Plains 1.
It's only gonna make his comeback sweeter.
Okay, but where does the KFC console fit into this history lesson?
Let's check out Frieze's Donut Plains 2. It's usually very interesting. That's right. I'm using my commentator curse for the powers of good now. I've learned the error of my ways. You guys didn't know I was a double agent this whole time.
Oh. Nice little clip through that block. Always a fun time to just phase through parts of the game. Really what gives it some of its charm, though.
Being broken.
Yeah.
Yeah, same with me. Very nice secret exit. Bram's trying to set up that flight up into the pipe.
Ooh, nice green yump.
Getting quite a few of them, man. He's getting all the flavors.
Yeah, Bram's not following it, but I've noticed Bram's is picking up just little hairs at a time here and there on these levels. Couple in-game seconds, first time through this auto-scroller.
Yep, you're gonna be looking for the normal exit this time, which is, interestingly enough, found right next to the secret exit. So, get to see a lot of the same thing.
Wait, that exit was supposed to be a secret? We just showed everyone.
Man. We're gonna get a call from Nintendo about that. All right, back in the ghost house. Get a quick exit.
You know, we always call this the boring part, but it's also, you know, we get back into Vanilla Dome for a couple levels that are actually pretty interesting. Then we
Vanilla
get to
Secret 1, I
every
love.
time it's like, oh yeah, these levels.
Yeah, like if this were a record, these are definitely the B-side levels. And we'll flip it back to some A-sides for a minute. I do like how thorough you got to be here to get this red block thing. Both of them getting it last time. So of course, by the transitive properties of me saying it, they're not going to get it this time.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
look what you did. Look what you've done.
Yep. I know my powers now, and I know what I must do.
Yeah, well, certainly we couldn't ruin it for Bramz.
Why would you do that?
We surely could not.
That was a pretty flashy key grab there, though. God damn it, Mike.
I really like this level. I like all of
It's
the
so neat.
horizontal levels. Or vertical levels.
The other
Vertical
horizontal.
levels. The other direction. God, would y'all believe that I'm an engineer of some kind?
That's so terrifying.
I think another thing that's unappreciated is, you know, getting up those the green bean springs like in any sort of quick fashion, because you mess that up even a little or press even just slightly late, like you're stuck there for it's a lot longer than it seems. It's so horrible.
I got some super exciting flyover levels.
Dude, look at that cloud.
Whoa.
It's looking right back at you.
That'd be terrifying if clouds were like sentient beings, but then there are also clouds that just weren't.
I mean, it'd
Airplanes
also be
would feel
wild.
so bad flying through them.
Also just be wild to have some, I don't even know what you'd call Lakitu. You know, something throwing spinies down at you from above.
Oh, that exists. Yeah,
From
there's
a
little place off the western edge of Mexico, and the legend has it that Lakitu exists in a small little port town called Zihuatanejo. It's absolutely deadly and dangerous. I learned that from a David Attenborough thing, I think.
Yeah, so we're just gonna have a great time swimming through this fortress. You know, we got some fish swimming at us. We got some spikes falling on us, but you know, no big deal. You just gotta hold the button and go.
Let's see how this Reznor treats him.
Ooh,
Nice.
Bramz got the took out the thwomp boss there.
Yeah, by spinning his cape at a very specific spot or point in time coming out of the tube there, he's able to get rid of the thwomp. It just doesn't spawn. It's very odd how cape spins can affect spawning. That's something we'll also see in Ludwig's castle at the very beginning in regards to Magic Koopa.
You know what's more exciting than having one runner in Butterbridge 1?
Falling asleep at the wheel.
I mean, that doesn't sound pretty exciting unless you wake up.
Yep, they're the one level that everybody knows and loves. It's completely unironic love.
So I've thought of ways we can improve Butterbridge 1. Now, hear me out. So we changed the music to the theme from like one of the Yoshi's Island musics. And then what we do, we add a Magic Koopa.
I like it.
And then okay, that's all I got right now, but more to come. You know, sign up for my mailing list and get 10% off when it launches.
Oh, wow, that's actually a pretty good deal.
I know.
Looks like maybe we'll get a pipe fly set up from Bramz here.
You'll love to see it because it's just about the only way you could actually make this more interesting.
Yeah, no, I don't know
And
about
no.
that. That's, yeah,
Didn't look very interesting. Sorry, Bramz.
that's so rude. This is actually a really interesting level. No cape.
Yeah, that's really one of the things about these levels that we're doing that we just kind of we're just like, yeah, this is a trash level. Yeah, it's just a flyover.
I would never
so much
call
more
a level
interesting.
trash. They're all
I
amazing.
call them trash. They're trash. They are trash. That's why No Star World on its own is a trash category. But once you take away the cape and you actually have to be in the level, ooh, levels are so much more interesting all of a sudden. You actually have to see all the work that went into making them. You have to actually dodge things and get creative with the platforming. Super fun. That's why I want to see the No Cape, No Star, possibly.
Man, could you imagine the No Cape, No Star tiebreaker? Now, Bramz lost his flower due to that one Koopa being way out of position last time.
Yeah, that's way better this
Able
time,
to get
though.
through. Yeah, very nice. Because that was like the start of whenever ISO Frieze just started getting away with it last time, so I was worried there. They're still keeping it super close. Force of Illusion. Things are gonna get spicy.
So, yeah, there's about a 12-second difference between them right now, so... Yeah, in Forest, that's... anything can happen. There's a lot that can
lines
happen
up with
right
a lot
now.
of fails, yeah.
12 seconds,
There's
that's not even
at
a
least
lot of
4
fails.
fails that
That's
came to
just-
mind that add up to 12 seconds.
I can think of one spot just being unpleasant enough, being more than 12 seconds, so... We'll see. I really like seeing that earthquake with that Yoshi grab.
Dude, so anytime that you can grab a Yoshi and ground pound afterwards is so cool. Seen a lot of that in Chocolate Island 2 during this tournament, and I definitely want to switch to that strat. Going for a wings dupe here. We got a P balloon, as you see, because he spawned it up top.
And
it
he
stays
gave
a
up
P
on
balloon.
I respect it. Oh, but there's some time for Bramz.
Oh, took a big chunk out of that that lead that Frieze had.
Yeah, they're tied up.
So now watch ISO Frieze as he goes for a clip. He had some issues. Once again, getting kicked out.
Uh-oh. Well.
He's dropped his Yoshi on the left-hand side. Is he going to go for a southpaw clip or wait until the right side opens up again?
Okay, well.
He's going southpaw. Oh, Frieze is in.
Oh,
I saw Bramz struggling. I didn't want to say anything to see if he could get out of it ahead. He was having a bad
time from the start.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's what the game has to say about those wings.
Now y'all truly see just how brutal Yoshi clips can be.
We got another yump, though. And we're in!
If ISO Frieze yumped on the red switch, he got all 4. Did he just get 3 out of 4?
Wait, which did he miss?
I think maybe red.
If he missed red, then he got 3 out of 4, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. Jesus, man. Out of Forest of Illusion 2. That, I mean, that Yoshi clip was just brutal.
Yeah. It's really sad. Poor guy. Like, I don't even want to talk about it anymore just because, like,
no, yeah,
I feel bad.
Yoshi clips are going to be Yoshi clips, man. That's
yeah.
Sometimes it's the great equalizer. Sometimes it's just a big wall, man.
We've seen people time out in there. I don't know if we've seen it in this tournament yet, but we've seen it certainly in many other tournaments.
People ditch the clip late and can't swim through the level fast enough.
Yeah, there is that point where you just gotta decide. I mean, at that point, you just die. You choose a death or trying to swim through. And that level sucks. I don't know which is worse.
And welcome back, ISO Frieze. More clips on the table.
That one was good, though.
Got through it easy.
Definitely what you like to see. Maybe not if you're Bramz, but Yoshi Clips is one of those things that can really just be, you know, you have 25% chance to fail just for no reason. So
I mean,
it
there
can
was
be
a
one
lot
of those
more
things.
issues. There was a lot more issues than that happening there. Both of them were having funky dismounts at one point. I know VD2 was an issue last race for sure for Frieze. Getting these clean Yoshi clips really helped though for Forest of Illusion 2. He had one fail on his first Forest of Illusion 2 clips. Ooh, now see, that's where Bramz just gets kicked out. That one was a fine Yoshi clip.
That sucks.
That first one did him dirty, and it's just setting it off. There's some...
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, it sucked. That one wasn't even his fault.
But hey, look at the bright side.
Hey,
you got Yoshi clips out of the way. Still got a cape.
2 capes. You know what that 2 capes is telling me? I think we're gonna see a repeat of last time in the ghost house. Going for the fun trick.
I If he goes for a Force Ghost House clip after all this, that's balling out of control. All right, now Frieze is on his way to Forest Fort. Got to go through some levels first. Bramz going through his first time through Forest of Illusion 3. Gonna take the normal exit so that he can go back to the ghost house. And just a reminder that, oh, Bramz, what we got here?
Aw. Well, you know what's cool though is we're gonna get to see that room again. The power up room.
Yep, he flew close to the sun. Good on him for the attempt.
I don't know about you though, but I just like seeing rooms you don't normally see.
Yep. As long as I'm not the one playing, I'm sure. Alright, so now we got Frieze just flying through the tree fort. Bramz on his way there.
Yeah, we got kind of a chill spot here till the next room. Super fun to fly through here, though.
Such a fun level, this one. Or this room, at least. First one's just a nice little breather. And then you get to have fun with cape cancels in room 2.
Yeah, it's one of those rooms that kind of puts quite a few little cape things to the test when you're trying to go quick through there.
Now Frieze is just gonna fly to the end. That guy a little bonk. Oh, do you know what auto scrollers are good for?
Taking a nap?
Oh, okay. I couldn't think of a reason, so I had to ask.
Oh, well, yeah, taking a quick nap. I like the Iggy one because, you know, if you forget to hydrate between runs, that's a nice quick spot to take a swig. Oh man, Bramz, you don't want to be down there.
That was a good reaction time on his part.
Yeah, absolutely. He played that super well to get out of there. Those two saws can be really sketchy if you get stuck in there.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
That Reznor had it out for him. Come on, Reznor.
Yeah, so I'm thinking Bramz is going to pick up a cape in the the next forest level. I don't know the numbers. Yeah, but the one he still has to do.
4.
Is it 4?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm just saying a number.
Oh, well, that is a number. Yeah, here's the cape. Nice Roy from Frieze.
Bramz just needs to fly through this level and he'll get his attempt at Roy. While we have Freeze going into Chocolate Island. Looking to pull off a cannon fly here. Had a good one last time.
Yeah, cannon fly's awesome. You get a bit more speed than even the natural cape flight you could get. And it feels good when you have it. You feel like you're actually flying through the game. You know? You're not just flying, but you're flying, you know?
Oh, I totally get what you're saying.
You get it,
I'm
right?
picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah, just like Bramz is flying through this castle. Very scary dive bomb there, but you know, you have quite a bit more tolerance than it looks like on that.
Good job avoiding that green block.
Yeah, that was a nice chocolate ghost house. That's a little weird on the ending, but
Yeah.
not really in any way that is actually gonna matter.
I was surprised he knew he still got Doorfly.
I would have just gave up on it personally. I would have thought I didn't have it. Yeah, so let me tell you about the secret exit for this level, and it's top secret. You can't tell anyone, but you actually just try and go through as fast as possible. That's the secret.
And how did anyone figure that out?
I have no idea.
Speedrunners impress me with all the things that they find out.
Very clean first room with chocolate secret.
Yeah, I really like that strat. It's pretty unique and nice room too.
Yeah, it was super smooth.
Oh, Bramz.
That scared me.
Died last run to that, and
it's
was
a
able to
very
get that
spooky door.
Oh, so spooky.
Okay, it looks like Bramz also knows the secret.
Secret.
We don't got to worry about any 95 on the file once we get out of here.
Oh man, why would you put that in the air? Now we're
Okay,
definitely gonna
well,
have to worry about that.
do we though? We've already gotten past the 2 places where that's most likely.
I always do that. And I'm just like, oh, I forgot to do Larry's castle. Oh, shucks.
How do you forget Larry's castle? Like, how far off route are you
On
going?
purpose. On purpose, man. You don't know that new hot category? 96 no Larry?
No,
Oh,
can't say I heard of it.
it hasn't reached the States yet. I mean, it's big overseas, you know? It's the next biggest thing. It's like BTS popularity.
I don't even know what
Everywhere.
a BTS is.
Yeah. Grandpa.
Is that one of those TikTok things? Isn't that just a clock? I have a clock. You youngins and your clocks.
I just got some more flying here from Frieze. Bram's gonna be going back to Chocolate Island too, do the other exit there.
Yeah, some of these other rooms in Chocolate Island 2 that you only get from these, you know, oddities of the level, I really wish you could see in more categories.
Shorter categories. You know, there's a great category. Some would say the most perfect category. I don't
96
know
exits.
anything about that. How dare you step on me during this? I'm
Yeah,
talking about the
you
one
said
and
the best
only
category.
all vines, baby.
Oh,
All vines.
ooh, I'm not sure about that one.
All the levels you don't typically see in a compact travel-sized format.
Yeah, but why wouldn't you just want 86 hits of Star World 3? Ooh, just think about it. 86 hits of Star World 3. That's not as good as this freaking fortress, though. Frieze is just flying through.
Such a difficult level, and he just made it look so easy.
And it looks so easy. We got derailed talking about trash categories like all vines.
What are you doing to
96
me?
exits. So I'll be honest, compared to that fortress, 96 exits is trash.
Yeah, compared to a lot of things, like literal garbage, that's still trash.
Well, where does that put all vines then?
Top tier. Popping out from under that pipe there, showing off some cape skill. Oh, that was... All right, nice. Didn't
I really
expect him to
like
get
that.
through that. There's a lot of stuff out of his control during that, and he managed it nice.
Ooh, that was cool. Little bounce. Ooh, beautiful
Ooh,
first room.
filthy,
That was
filthy.
super nice. And you know, this level has like 3 capes you can pick up. And notice how neither of these guys had to pick up any of them.
Yeah, because they're
Blast
good.
through, no problem. Yeah, there are 3 backup capes in there. Didn't need any of them. That's awesome.
So far, Frieze has had a great Wendy, getting that crusher skip. Going into room 2. And I had a very similar issue last race with that last block with the little Sparky.
Ooh, Bram's having a nice ending to that level.
Oh,
Ooh.
worth.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not convinced he didn't do it on purpose. I mean, once you find yourself in the circumstances, not in general. And now we get to see Bramz' Wendy. First thought it was a little sketch because of that landing. I'm not gonna get. Oh Jesus! You climb up with that low flight meter like that, that's you're gonna get crushed.
Woo!
That's spicy. You gonna do the undersaw? All right, not going that spicy.
Yeah, crushers really suck. Like, the thing that sucks is they hit you and you take damage, so it releases your item box and then it kills you. You don't
Yeah.
you don't get any leeway with a crusher hitting you. It's like probably the most devastating way to lose everything.
What are you doing?
Oh no! What are you? Oh. Wendy is also one of those places where it starts going wrong. It's
Orb.
I think one thing I really appreciate about 96 when I was playing it was there's a lot of capes everywhere when things start going south because of the green switch. You know, I'm sitting here trying to compliment the green cape block, and there goes the cape because
You can't
Wendy's
say anything.
Castle's terrible.
Anything you say, the exact opposite will happen.
You know, I'm just sorry, Bramz. Oh, anything I say, the opposite will happen. Okay, we're not going to game 3.
It's so weird how, except for that block at the very end, man, that broke it up. But that besides the block at the very end, it's weird how eerily similar Frieze's Vob ones were from last round. Like the exact same little mistakes he made last time he made that time, except for the block at the end. Oh my god, I thought he was gonna lose that
Oh
mushroom.
yeah, that looked so close. That was... And you see, I made sure not to say something, so that's why he survived.
No, why did you say the word survived? This is sucking ghost ship, nothing bad could happen, right?
Easy level. No biggie.
Alright, Frieze was having to take a kind of a normalish path to this room. Very nice still.
Good
Wonder if we're gonna
despawn.
see him. If he's gonna go for that door fly again. No, he's just going for it, just normal. Oh, I'm dumb. You have to on that exit. Man, imagining just how exhausting it can be, even just watching 296s. These guys ran and then weekly 96 as well.
They did?
Orb. Can you
Orb.
imagine how exhausted
really?
they are from 96 today?
That's insane. That's a lot of 96. I do one run and I'm like, man, that's enough for a couple weeks.
For a while.
Yeah, 96 is a pretty big endeavor. 3 of them, like, super impressive. They're even putting down the 3rd run, to be honest.
Yeah, my brain would be complete mush if I had to run 3 of them. Getting close to the end of this one, though, with ISO Freeze and Vob 4. Only got a few levels left.
Yeah, I really like that level. Vob 4. It's
Got a
just
vine in it.
satisfying to fly through when you get the once you sort of figure out your pattern, you get it on script, and just it feels so smooth once you start getting through. Oh man. Well, let me tell you what wasn't smooth.
Now, what was that you were saying about how fun and cool and free
Well,
this
I
level
was
can be?
saying when it goes well. Clearly, it
No,
didn't
please
go well,
continue.
so it
Please.
wasn't fun. You know.
Please, yeah, continue. I want the comeback
Well,
of
that
the
was
decade
a
to happen.
super sexy slide from Bramz.
Nice, taking that spring with them.
Yeah, that was a nice. I thought I had something to add, man. I just wanted to say words. There was nothing else to add. There's a spring. It's a gold tape. You all know how it works at this point. We've seen it a few times now tonight.
Nice, getting through that room 1 without issue.
This is probably one of my favorite rooms in the game to play and to watch. There's just so much happening, and the chaos of the Magic Koopa is actually kind of fun to me now.
Oh, didn't get out of the triple scroll. That's weird.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird spot to get stuck like that.
Like, yeah, I don't know. That sucks. He went for the triple scroll, which typically is just oh, nice. 1-0 grab, Bramz. But that triple scroll typically just like allows you a little more freedom. But I guess not.
Yeah, that was super weird. How do you go through there?
The same triple scroll.
Got it. I'm a 1 scroll guy. I just go for the scroll at the beginning and pray.
Yes. Yeah, everyone uses that last part of the strat. Just pray.
It's weird because, like,
Oh,
I feel like
Bramz Some funky Yoshi fly there. All right, Frieze, you got a sandbar clip for us? Huh? Huh?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. If I was in Frieze's position right now, I would not be going for anything like that.
Of course not, but you gotta hope.
You gotta hope, but you gotta remember, it's a tournament race.
Yeah, yeah.
And, you know, as you mentioned, this is the third 96 run they're doing. I'm sure as much as we all want to see another run, I'm sure Frieze just wants to wrap it up and go to bed. Though I don't know if you can go to bed too easy after that.
Bramz does a violent dismount of Yoshi, just like smashes him against a wall. Like real hard too. Just lay him on the ground, bro. He's been so kind to you. Oh, I guess he hasn't. That was for Force of Illusion too.
Oh, Frieze almost went in the hole. That was super sketchy. All right, but Bramz is. Oh gosh, they're both in super awesome rooms right now. Just everyone just needs to just take it in. Take it
Frieze
in.
is so lucky he got that turnaround. Oh,
just to
God,
the face.
just keep going.
Doesn't
There's
care.
a green block.
Doesn't
There's a green
care.
block.
Just go.
Dang.
Beautiful. Nice skip on Frieze's side. Oh, that's
filthy.
so nice. I love
That's
to see that strat.
So good, dude.
I gotta learn that. That's so good.
Damn. There's the strat everyone's stealing for the night. Frieze coming out of that Vob fort, and he's gonna be heading to the Bowser fight here shortly and wrap it up. Hell of a run.
Yeah, this has been super
2 in a
good.
row.
Yeah, they were both super clean too, from what I remember the last one.
Yeah, last one was 24-44.
The only real differences between this one and the last one, I think, are just a few less of like the
Boss kills.
yeah, like the boss kills or the wings. Like the optionals.
Bramz, there
Bramz
you
is in the
go.
sandbar.
2 for 2 and taking it all the way. Give a little fun free clip here.
Love to see a sandbar clip. Mostly because you hate to get stuck in this level otherwise. Sandbar is not fun.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't even know how to do it, so I usually end up taking an extra cycle or two.
Yeah, lots of people you'll see, they'll get the sandbar clip and then be like, oh man, I don't know what to do afterwards. Like, I need to go, go, go.
Yeah, I got it
exactly.
I've gotten it exactly once, and I like, it wasn't this tournament. I think it was the last tournament. I was already knocked out, and I accidentally got it. And I was like, I don't know what to do now. So I'm just gonna clip back in a safe spot and continue on my merry way through the level.
Oh.
Yeah, the game has not been treating Bramz well tonight.
Just beating them up, man. I thought he was about to fall off that ledge too, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah. Again, just being like one of those things where, you know, sometimes you feel like you just slip off a corner or something, like out of your control. And Frieze finished. We didn't even really talk much about that Bowser fight. I mean,
It was just a true
it was
textbook
pretty
Bowser
good.
fight.
Bowser fight.
GG
to Frieze, knocking it out.
2 runs in a row that were just wild, man. 125.23 and a 124.43.
Oh, that's a super good race time. You know, throwing down runs like that is going to go pretty far in the tournament. And we got Bramz in the Bowser fight.
All right. For those of y'all who predicted Frieze is the winner, have almost 60,000 channel points coming y'all's way to be split amongst y'all. 20,000 of those being mine. So enjoy them. Enjoy them, suckers.
Hey, thanks.
I hope they're good. I'll get them next time. I'll get them all back.
So I've been away from Twitch for a while. I don't understand this predictions thing, but I guess
It's
I have more
basically
points.
gambling. They've found they found a great way to incorporate gambling.
Damn, dude, when can I get my channel point loot box?
All right, Bram's going for that. No, Cape ball skip again. All right, going into that third and final phase.
And boom, finished it up. GG to Bramz. 128.09.
Jeez. Now checking it out, he still has his races to do against Shady Forest and Pie's Good. So we don't know where he's going to be at there. For Frieze, however, this is a shutout. This will be his third win in his group of 4 people. Monstrous results.
Yeah, that's super exciting. I'm real excited to see the rest of that group play out, honestly. Those
Yeah,
are
all these groups have
super
been
good
so
runners
interesting.
and I just love watching them all, and I love seeing how they all play because they all have, you know, strength, weaknesses that I think, you know, it's very balanced and a very high level of play.
Yeah, all these groups have just been given crazy results. So I've been real excited to see it all go down.
And as someone who was in this, I actually really enjoyed the group I was in. It was all super close, and I think very good matchups. So
Yeah, really
I've
good
been really
matchups.
enjoying the format, honestly.
Yeah, but GG's to both of our runners. Doesn't look like we're going to be getting them in for an interview, so we're going to go ahead and be closing it up here. You guys make sure to follow this channel if you want to watch more of the tournament races. We're going to be having more restreams coming up. We're still in the group phase. And 2 from each group. We're going to be moving to brackets, so we still have plenty of this tournament to go. And Mike, you got anything for us before we wrap up?
If you've missed any of the matches, you want to check them out. I think all the ones that have been restreamed on this channel have been going on YouTube as well. So you don't like Twitch VODs, I have a lot of issues opening Twitch videos apparently lately, so checking them out there is also a good option. Other than that, yeah, I'm good. It's been awesome chatting with you and talking about Mario, and looks like we got a surprise guest.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Hey. Big GG's, dude. 3-0.
Crazy.
Everyone in your group. That's sick.
Is Bramz gonna show up or?
Does not seem like he is, no.
Well, I don't really know what to say. I think I played
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, that first one was insane. 3 out of 3 boss kills.
Yeah, I think that was my first triple boss kill in a run, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn. And the God, was it 78 wings coming out of that too?
Oh yeah. What was? Oh, like, I feel bad for Bramz with Yoshi clips. Yoshi clips was so bad
Bro.
the whole
was-
match.
That was
Yeah.
so sad.
That was heartbreaking. I didn't like watching that. I think that was like 100 in-game seconds, he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild. It's definitely somewhere I feel that almost all of us have been, and it's just not good to watch other people go through that too.
Yeah, I was just watching. I was like, oh no. Game he's already behind. Don't need to beat him down.
Right? It's like, God. That's what Yoshi Clips does, though. It either equalizes or decides.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
But yeah, GG's, you've finished all your races for the group stage.
Yep.
Before anyone else in your group did any of their races, their other races, you have done all of yours.
I'm
You
prompt.
just showed up real quick. Yeah, just showed up real quick, 3-0'd them, showed them what's up. Now you get to chill and hang out till bracket time.
Yep.
Yeah, well, I'm sure your part of the bracket's going to be sweating after that, too.
I just now I know to pick 96 instead of switches.
Right? Then see, that's the other thing that I thought was interesting was like this is the only one like the other two you had. Oh no, you didn't do all switches against Pies Good. I guess it's pretty much just everyone else where in all switches has come in. It's just like thrown everyone for a loop.
Yeah.
And I know all switches is kind of your bread and butter. It's like
Yep.
you're really good at that. So that's dope. You're able to 3-0 and not really have to rely on all switches.
I know I'm done with 96 for today. I just did 3 in a row. Weekly race right after this too.
I was half expecting you to say that like you did one before the weekly or something too, just to push it a little further.
Not that crazy.
I can't believe
Just
you guys
3.
did the weekly, honestly.
Oh man.
Knowing this was gonna be a possibility,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have. I would have said, nope, I'm gonna rest.
Nah, I feel you have to. You have to.
It's good warm up.
Apparently. Showed up for that second one. What was your time in the weekly? I tried finding the race room and couldn't.
That's a good question.
All right, don't worry about it. But like a mid 24 and a mid 25 for the 2 races. That's sick.
Let's see. Yeah, low 125.
Nice.
So
he's just staying right in that pocket.
Yeah. That's what I do. I'm consistent. Might not be like the best and have great times, but I'm pretty consistent.
That matters. I mean, everyone knows it. That matters so much in races.
Other than clips, of course.
Yeah. In a tournament, the consistent players are a lot more terrifying than like a PB grind player.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, it is past my bedtime, so I'm going to head out.
All right, GG's once again. We'll see you in the bracket stage.
GG Bramz.
And yeah, GG's to Bramz once again. That's going to do it for us. I'm Wade. That's Mike. Thanks, Umar. Shout outs to Mario. Later.
Later.